What's going on? Welcome back to another team projection episode. The will be. Today we got the Boston Red Sox. Let's get into it. What's going on? Welcome back to Normal Baseball. I'm Alex, Normal Dog. That's Lewis. Today we got another team projection. Will be in our Will Be series. We got the Boston Red Sox.
The
Bobby Dolbeck led Boston Red Sox.
The Beantown Red Sox.
The Beans. We got the Bean Sox.
The Beantown Bombers.
This team did get very good over this year. They made some moves in the offseason, and we're here to talk about it. So let me tell you their additions that they made this offseason. Michael Wacha signed as a free agent.
Waka waka.
1-year contract. Fozzie the Bear. Waka waka waka. They also signed. Jackie Bradley Jr. They got back in a trade with Milwaukee. Huge. Who'd they get rid of? Hunter Renfroe. That's when they got rid of Renfroe. Jackie Bradley, if he can return to 2018 Jackie Bradley.
World Series champion Jackie Bradley.
They will have no problem. James Paxton signed as free agent, 1-year contract for 2023, but he has 2 opt-ins.
Big Maple?
Yeah.
Huh.
He's the only James Paxton in the league, isn't it?
I didn't know that he went to the Red Sox.
Well, he's injured. He's on the 60-day, I think, because that's the most James Paxton thing I can think of.
As Yankee fans, that is the most James Paxton thing I can think of as well.
Rich Hill, they signed him as a free agent, 1-year contract.
Dick Mountain.
Dick Mountain. We love Dick Mountain. Jake Diekman signed as a 2-year contract. Pretty big. The big one. Here's the big one. Trevor Story. 6 years. A lot of millions. 6 years with an option for a 7th. Which is pretty exciting, and that's really it.
Yeah. Let's just go ahead and say right now, the Boston Red Sox were a team that last year no one really thought were going to make any noise, and they came within, 2 games of the World Series?
Uh-huh.
And they only got better from here, so that's interesting. You know, they're also banking on some very, very good years from guys who put up great years. I mean, some guys who have proven it already, such as Kike Hernandez and Xander and even Devers. I feel like they're all kind of shoo-ins. Trevor Story, he's never competed in anything but the wild card out in the NL West. So, how will he handle it? Jackie Bradley Jr. coming back to the big lights of Boston, the Boston media and sports. It's a lot to live up to, so let's hope that he's going to be okay. I can imagine that whenever they play the Phillies, Kyle Schwarber will get a standing ovation, which is interesting.
I don't think they play the Phillies this year.
Yeah, all the East play the East.
East is West. East plays the West this year.
Really?
The East played the East last year.
Huh. Thought it was every year.
No.
So you're telling me the Yankees don't play the Mets at all?
No, that's different.
Fair enough.
They don't play the Red Sox won't play probably the Mets. They played them last year.
Yeah, that's true.
This year it's West, I believe.
So, anyways.
Or it's Central. It might be Central. I don't even know.
I think that this team is it's interesting in the sense of, yes, they just proved to us last year that they are a very competitive team. Like, they can go out there and compete with the best of them. But it's dependent on will they be able to keep up with their division more now. Because, I mean, even last year, some of those games with the Blue Jays, they did have, swinging competitions. I mean, obviously, they beat the Rays in the playoffs, but the Rays kind of tormented them all year. The Yankees.
No, the Yankees.
They didn't do anything.
The Yankees aren't really... They're probably the lowest of their problems in that division right now. I mean, the Blue Jays got better. Substantially better. So did the Rays.
The Rays
They're
are the
always
Rays.
good.
Yeah,
They're
the Rays
always
are the
good
Rays.
because they're the Tampa Bay Rays. They always find a way. They pull farm system pieces out of their ass, and they bat 300. And they got Wander, they got Vidal Brujan coming up this year, they got Randy Rosarena. They just have endless amounts of people who do insanely good on that team. So they're always a team to look out for.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the guy who I'm looking most forward to watch play this year in Fenway Park is without a doubt Trevor Story. He is their new, their big ticket guy. You know, the Red Sox spent the past few years, really being stingy, and the fans were all upset that they weren't spending the money and getting the big free agents or making the big splash trade, and now they got their big ticket guy in Trevor Story, who will be playing second base for this season and maybe moving forward, depending on what they want to do with Devers and Xander and everything.
Yeah, it depends on Xander. I mean, Xander's contract's up in a couple of years.
Yeah, so let me ask you this: out of the two, Xander and Devers, which one would you extend? Because I don't think that you can afford both of them.
Devers?
You'd take Devers?
Yeah, Devers is younger. He's got a bright future.
Well.
I mean, it's kind of
And
smarter.
you have
And
the
you've got
shoe-in
Trevor Story.
Yep. I completely agree with you.
I mean, another big thing about Trevor Story is, the course effect is always a question, obviously, coming from Colorado. His home run numbers and his power numbers, will they be the same? And especially now with the Green Monster in Fenway, you can't hit any more line drive homers at home. So if you had to make it over-under, Trevor Story, 27.5 home runs. He had 24 last year, so it is over, but he also had a down year last year. That's taking that into account.
I'm going to say under.
You're going to say under? I'm also saying under because,
Yeah.
I want to say over because, Trevor Story can easily have 30 home runs. He had 35 in 2019, 37 in 2018. He can easily have over 30.
But between the Green Monster and the pitching in the AL East...
Yeah, between those two, exactly those two things, you're right.
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot tougher.
Yes, if Trevor Story can do it, that's without a doubt he can.
He can. It's a matter of will he adjust that fast.
Which no one really knows at the moment. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, opening day is just ever so slightly peering its head around the corner. I feel like every day is a century at this point. But when we see Trevor Story play, I think he will be either a really big, Boston is just going to be so happy that they got him, or it's going to be all right, how many more years of this guy? I don't think that there's any in between with him and...
Yeah, it's not going to be
Sox
he's just kind of that random player. We have Trevor Story. He's
going
good
to be the guy that everybody looks at. Whenever people want to know if the team is doing well, they're going to think of, how's Trevor Story doing? Because they're paying him so much money, which, good for Trevor Story getting a nice big payday, and good for the Red Sox for getting a big market free agent to come to Beantown. But everyone will now be looking at solely Trevor Story for what's happening.
Yeah. There's a lot of, I don't want to say pressure because it's not necessarily pressure, but he like you said, he does know all the eyes are on him and how he can contribute to that team. Obviously, they went 6 games in the ALCS last year with the Astros. So,
do you think that if Trevor Story were on that Red Sox team, it pushes them over the edge?
No. I think that Astros team with Correa, they just had too much for those Red Sox. And I do think the Red Sox, maybe, but I would say if gun to my head, I'd say no.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. There are, I could see a world where you say yes because Trevor Story is a big bat guy, but no one knows how he performs under pressure. No one knows how
we've never
will be
really
able to do.
We've seen him in the playoffs once in 2018,
Twice.
but
2 wild card games, I think.
Right, just wild card. Oh, there was the tiebreaker with the Cubs, 2018.
Yeah, well, nothing
extravagant.
Yeah,
no NLCS, no World Series, no
NLDS.
No, they've made the DS. They played the Dodgers, I think, one year.
I thought that was just a wild card.
No.
Huh. But yeah, all in all, Trevor Story is going to be the guy that everybody's looking at for anything Red Sox related for the next 6 or 7 years, depending on how long his contract is.
Yeah, I don't think there's no trade clause, so that's always in effect. You never know if he's not great or not what they expected him to be.
Yeah, the contract is movable. It's sort of it's a big contract, but it's not an immovable contract. There are teams that would be willing to take the hit on the payroll if they got a guy who could put people in the seats.
Yep. So I'm going to read off their lineup to you, and you tell me what the biggest name that pops out at you besides Trevor Story is. Like, who, when you read this lineup, you're like, oh, well, I'm going to be watching as many of their at-bats as I can this year. Kike Hernandez, Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts, J.D. Martinez, Alex Verdugo, Bobby Dolbeck, Jackie Bradley Jr., Christian Vasquez. Because I have my answer.
I really want to say Kike Hernandez.
Kike, yeah, I mean,
he's just
great
so
postseason.
Exciting. He had a great postseason. I mean, it's hard for me to say this as a Yankee fan, but I really enjoyed watching the Red Sox when Kike Hernandez was playing.
Yeah, no.
He's a real he's a Swiss Army knife who can play just about any position.
He's one of those guys that you're jealous that your team doesn't have.
Yeah, and he's not only like you expect most utility guys to just be like, they're fast and they can just play whatever position because they did it for their whole entire career or whatever with no bat.
Right.
But Kike has the bat to back it up.
Exactly.
And he's got it
all.
With the Dodgers. He's done it with the Red Sox, and if he just continues to go on this silent tear, he's like the Grim Reaper. You don't know that he's coming, you don't hear him, but he's still making so much noise after he gets past you that it's like, oh my god, how did we not game plan for Kike Hernandez?
Yeah, you don't realize till after it happens. But I think after last year's postseason, I think teams might be taking him more seriously because he's a force to be reckoned with. When he's hot, he's hot. For me, it would be Rafael.
What do you mean by that?
For me, it would be Rafael Devers. I mean, I think this guy's an MVP candidate. He had 113 RBIs last year, which is a lot more than I realized he had. He had 38 home runs, 37 doubles, a singular triple. Clap it up for Rafael Devers and his triple. Nice. Yes. He batted .279, had an .890 OPS, lower than Brandon Crawford. But I mean, this guy's an MVP candidate on any given day.
Yeah, without a doubt. One just crazy thing I think the MLB posts it at least once a week. How many interactions do you think we will see with Alex Verdugo and Yankee fans throughout the season? Because he's been a guy.
Yeah, we'll see.
That the MLB posts all the time of him.
We'll see on opening day
making friends with the Yankees fans.
He loves it. In interviews, he said he loves the interaction with the fans and he understands that it's a rivalry and it's just fun to him.
I feel like Verdugo is just such a he's the guy in the clubhouse when the Red Sox are in Yankee Stadium or the Yankees are in Fenway Park, where he's he's gonna try to get the team all excited to play it's another baseball game or whatever, this is their job, but he's also gonna be like, hey guys, look out for the guy in section 12. He's been chirping me the past 2 days. Let's go show him why we're here. He's that type of guy that he's gonna make light of the heckling and the stuff that gets hurled at him because of the rivalry. And now, with this division, we'll see Rays fans. Well, actually, we won't see any Rays fans.
Rays fans don't exist.
We'll see Blue Jays fans also now into this mix of they're all competing and fighting each other within the division. So it's just going to be so much fun to watch him as a person, and as a player, he's pretty good too. But I'm more excited for Alex Verdugo, the person, than the player.
All right. Well, I guess that's fair.
There's a very long rant to say that I kind of like Alex Verdugo.
Alex Verdugo.
Let's shake it for Alex Verdugo.
Alex Verdugo, right there. It's official. Alex Verdugo is now a human being.
A cool one. A cool human being.
I was just going to end it at human being. He's pretty cool, but that was the human being part.
Okay, we'll try it one more time.
Yeah. Sorry, it's 10:30 at night, guys.
Yeah, we're going a little bit nuts down here. We actually never leave this couch.
Yeah, we've never got up. We haven't got up in days. It's tough, but it is what it is. We were just talking about Devers. I wasn't really done. I wanted to give it over/under. Well, of course, he had 113 RBIs last year. 104.5 RBIs over/under. Over. I'm going over too. I think that this team is very good at driving runners in. Last year they were 5th in runs.
Yeah.
In all of baseball. Third in average, 7 in on-base percentage, third in OPS. This team's hitting was great last year. Their pitching, different story.
Here we go.
Their pitching wasn't great last year. They lost Eduardo Rodriguez, Garrett Richards, Martin Perez.
And Chris Sale is currently on the injured list.
I was getting to that. But, Chris Sale's on the injured list. They don't really know how long he's going to be. Hopefully it's not too long for them, at least. He's going to miss opening day. It looks like it's going to be Evaldi for the second year in a row on opening day. But Chris Sale is injured, obviously. James Paxton on the 60-day IL. Chris Sale, been battling injuries for the past couple of years.
Which is so heartbreaking.
It sucks. He's one of the best, if not the best starter in baseball when healthy. My question is, do you think he'll fight back from this injury? And I'm setting an over-under at 130 innings pitched. Do you think he'll really shake off this injury and have a nice season after he comes back from this first rib injury?
130 innings pitched, over or under.
To give you a little thing, he pitched 9 games last year and had 42.2 innings pitched. But also some of that was ramp-up starts,
Yeah. I'm going to say under, but 120, I think in the beginning they're going to be cautious with him just to make sure that he's okay, and then he'll really ramp up. They're going to... Chris Sale, when he's healthy, completely healthy, is a top 3 pitcher in baseball. He's damn near unhittable, in my opinion.
100%.
So I think the Red Sox know that, and they're going to really take their time with bringing him back, just because if they do it wrong, then they lose more of Chris Sale.
It's reasonable. I think when he comes back from this rib injury, I'm going to be optimistic, and I'm going to take the over. I want to see a full, nice season of Chris Sale. Hopefully he only misses 2 starts in the beginning of the year, and then has a Chris Sale type-esque season.
Yeah, count me in for it.
But
other than that, their starting pitching seems a little bit lackluster.
It is a little bit lackluster. I was going to read the rest of the rotation. So the rest of the rotation, besides obviously Sale, Nathan Evaldi, good. Nick Pivetta proved to be pretty good. No, he's proved to be pretty good. You haven't been watching spring training. He's been pretty good this spring.
It's spring training.
Tanner Houck can be very good when he's good. Michael Wacha is only good against the Yankees. And Rich Hill is only good against the Yankees because the Yankees cannot hit pitchers who throw under 84 miles an hour. It's a proven fact. So maybe that's the reason they got them. Michael Wacha was the best pitcher against the Yankees last year.
Yeah.
In all of baseball. Had the lowest ERA against the Yankees in
Waka.
8 starts or whatever, 7 starts, something like that. Something crazy. Pivetta is proven to be good, like I said. And then Houck in the playoffs last year, he was insane. He was one of their saviors in the playoff last year, if I remember correctly. But yeah.
Fair enough. I think that their starting pitching will be the first group of people to take the fall. If the Red Sox don't get off to such a hot start, I think the fingers will all be pointed to them.
Really?
And we'll see what happens from there. I hope that the fingers aren't pointed anywhere and the Red Sox still have a good year no matter what. I just feel like if anything does go south, they're going to be we don't have Chris Sale yet. He's not healthy. Look at our 3, 4, 5 guys. They're not as good as our 1, 2.
I think if their downfall in the beginning of the year would be their bullpen.
Their bullpen is pretty lackluster as well.
That's what I'm saying. Matt Barnes, good, can be good. Wasn't great in the second half. Jake Diekman is iffy. Garrett Whitlock, Ryan Brazier, Matt Strom, Sawamura, Derek Holland. It's just some names, but it's not any tremendous names. And for a team who wants to be competing this year, they don't really have that firepower in the bullpen.
Yeah, which is sad because this is I don't want to say this in a bad way, but it's obviously going to sound bad. The Red Sox kind of, from the outside looking in, kind of look exactly like the Angels, where they have some good pitchers, but
I think the Angels are a better team than the Red Sox. Oh, pitching
wow.
wise. Pitching wise. Calm down. Pitching wise, I think the Angels are a better team than the Red Sox.
Yes, pitching wise. But I think the
and they're
Red
not
Sox
far
have
behind
that
in the lineup.
No, not at all.
Shohei and Trout are big big advantages.
Yeah.
But the Red Sox,
And
if they do have a downfall, I think that it will be because of their bullpen.
Yeah, just their pitching in general, in my opinion. It's going to be tough to see, Red Sox fans, if the season is not off to the start that you want, and if you're blowing the late game leads or whatever, then really petition that front office to make a move at the deadline or something to acquire a pitcher that is going to be more solid for them. Because if they can lock down a number 3 guy who's not perfect, but a number 3 starter, and 2 more bullpen arms, because if Matt Barnes can really be Matt Barnes, then they should be okay.
Yeah.
Then I think we'll be talking about Boston Red Sox holding up the Commissioner's Trophy at the end of the year.
I don't think this team is a World Series team.
They were 2 wins away from it last year.
I know, but I don't think they're a World... Considering how good other teams around them got. Just because they got better doesn't mean other teams didn't.
No, I agree with you.
I think the teams around them that got better are much more of a threat than they have been.
Okay. I'll let me say sure, but I mean you can't.
Let me say
yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Hey, I'm talking through my thought process here. I'm only going to doubt it just a little bit because the Red Sox proved last year that they can do it, and the other teams around them so far haven't.
I don't know. I think that Blue Jays team is going to be unstoppable.
Only one way to find out. Opening day coming up this Thursday.
Also, not the Blue Jays against the Red Sox.
Yeah, no.
I know. I was talking about the Blue Jays.
The season starts.
All right. Well, we're just about done with the Red Sox. That was pretty much it.
Pretty swag.
Just get our over-unders in and team MVP. So the last over-under, 85.5 wins. What do you got?
88.5?
85.5.
85.5. Oh my god, give me the under. I'm gonna guess 85.
All right. I also took the under. I don't really know where, but just with that good of a division, I can't see them winning more than 85.
Yeah.
And then team MVP. What do you think? I got Devers. I think he's going to be top 5 MVP.
This is gonna sound stupid because I just took his under, but give me Chris Sale. I think he'll come back and be the MVP.
So no, that's more than reasonable. If he comes back, even if he has less than 130 innings pitched, if he comes back and has shutdown starts and takes them into the playoffs, why wouldn't he be the team MVP?
Yeah.
And I think that should do it for the Boston Red Sox. Pleasure. It's a pleasure doing business.
Absolutely.
And that should do it for this episode of our Will Be for the 2022 season. In 2022, the Boston Red Sox will be in
3rd place.
3rd place. You heard it here first, folks. That should do it. We'll see you next episode tomorrow. It should be the White Sox. We're heading out. Normal baseball. Yo.